Hey Facebook, it's Gerry. We're coming to you today from Guanacaste, Costa Rica, and we just want to tell you a little bit about what we do here at Rythmia Life Advancement Center. We are, hey guys, hi Jen, fantastic. We're a Life Advancement Center situated in Guanacaste, Costa Rica. It's a blue zone. We do amazing work here, if I don't say so myself. We're a pretty unique place as far as we're a plant medicine center that focuses on true healing, real deep, real healing. And a little bit about me, my name is Gerry. I was a millionaire in life, a pretty good one, meaning I was a complete asshole, and I was super unhappy and terribly upset at life, upset at myself. I was suicidal, and a miracle happened in my life, and shortly thereafter that miracle, I created this place so that this miracle can happen for other people. And what's unique about us here is when people leave here, and we see somewhere between 50 and 83 people a week, when they leave, they fill a survey out, and in that survey, about 95-ish%, 95.23 I think as of today, so that's 952 people out of 1,000 report that they had that miracle happen to themselves while they're here. And I'll tell you a little bit about that miracle. We believe that when you're born, you and your soul are one. And then an event happens in your life by design, and it makes you split from your soul. And when you split from your soul, all disease, all addiction, and all disorder come out of that split. And when you put them back together, the diseases, the disorder, the addictions, the sadness leave. And we found that to be absolutely true here. At any time throughout this Facebook Live, please do me a favor. If you think this is going to help anybody in your group of friends, or please press share. Facebook has changed their rules, and we need you guys to share this thing. Hi guys. Every single week I take one of our guests. We had about 82 guests this week, and I take one guest and I single them out and scare them and invite them to come and talk about their experience with Rythmia. This week I have a really beautiful soul. Her name is Stacy. Stacy, come on and join me here for a second. Hi Heidi. Hi Megan. How you doing? This beautiful being is Stacy. And Stacy is from Seattle. And Stacy, what do you do for a living?
I'm a buyer with Costco.
Buyer with Costco. So if you're unhappy with the shit that you see at Costco, so you're a buyer at Costco, and this is your second visit with us.
Yes.
And you get more beautiful every time you do this. Do you know that when I first saw you, you were beautiful, but you keep getting more beautiful. Like, it's amazing to see that, and that's the truth. You're something else. And I mean that inside and out. So can I ask you, Stacy, you're unique. A lot of people that come here are on this heavy-duty spiritual path. You were just sort of going through life, right? Like, explain to me a little bit about what got you here the first time.
The first time, yeah, I was just going through life, and I think really didn't give too much thought to a lot other than a lot to work. And didn't have a spiritual practice or anything like that. In 2017, I had 8 relatives pass away.
Wow. And
that sort of threw everything into a tailspin. Split with a boyfriend that I'd had for 12 years. That threw me into another tailspin. There were 3 deaths in August, and
wow.
And that sort of brought me to my knees finally, instead of just pushing it down and pretending nothing was wrong.
Right.
So then I saw an energy worker in Sun Valley, Idaho, and she told me about a friend who came here and it changed their life, and I didn't know what ayahuasca was or anything about it, and I signed up the next day.
And then you came shortly after that?
Yeah, I came in October.
You came in October. And before we talk about anything, after you probably did some research and you saw this ayahuasca stuff, what was your thought? Were you afraid, or?
Yes.
Yeah, I could imagine. Yeah.
Yes.
Because like this would be something so far out of what you would normally do, right?
Yes.
Like this is out there.
Yeah.
So let's
yoga.
talk.
Yoga was out there.
Yoga was out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is really good. So hi Deb, hi Tom. Hi, Macau. How are you? You come here, and what were your first impressions? You come to this place, and you think, what?
I think you made a joke about this, but the first ceremony, I was like, oh, it's Jim Jones.
Exactly right.
A bunch of creepy beds and buckets and toilet paper and weird things to drink. But it's
I
not.
love that. Hey, DJ. Okay, so you come here and you hear about this thing, about this, what I talk about the soul and splitting. You go to this Monday class, and what did you think of that class? You thought, did you believe it, or were you just...
No, I believed it. I believed all things were possible. I really did. I didn't know how to get there, and I didn't know how to make myself open, and I didn't know how to not resist it, but I knew that it was possible.
And did you believe, though, that the soul was split? Did you believe that you something was not right in there?
Yes, because ever since I can remember, I've had a hole in me that I filled with too much work or obsessive working out, too much alcohol, too much food, too much of something, always trying to fill it, and it never, ever worked. It never went away. So.
And so before I get to that, I'm going to ask you guys again, Facebook changed their rules. Please share this if you're watching. Please share it to help us get everything that we need to get. I want to say two other things before we go. You've got to get this book, Shit the Moon Said. It's a fantastic book. Please get the book. It describes what goes on here at Rythmia. I want to say hi to my mom. I hope you're watching. I want to say hi to Brandy. I hope you're watching. And before we go any further, I want to ask you this. Were you afraid about throwing up?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Was that one of your big fears?
Yes.
You don't like to throw up?
Does anybody?
I don't know. There are some people that do.
No. I resisted the entire first trip I was here. I didn't really have too much happen with the medicine. I had some visions, but I mostly just laid there, petrified and stiff as a board, thinking I was going to throw up. And then when they would come around with some of the ceremonial things and the smoke, I would just hide under my covers and hope they'd go away and curse. And it made it torture, just resisting it. Yeah.
And so in your first week here, do you believe you re-merged with your soul?
Yes.
Yes. And so I'm going to fast forward a little bit. So you believe you had this miracle while you were here, and then you get home, and were there changes in your life?
Yes. I am not so wonderful to work for, perhaps.
Costco would think differently. You've been there since you're 16.
Shh, don't tell. Yeah, I think everything I felt calmer. I felt that hole was gone. I mean, that was the number one thing. The hole was just instantly gone the second that it happened, and I didn't need to fill it, and I was just calm and took things in stride in the moment, less irritated, less judgmental. Everything was just okay. I wasn't always plotting the next thing in the next moment and looking for problems.
And so fast forward 7 months or something, right? How many months ago was that?
That was October, so 6 months.
6 months. And you decide, hey, I'm going to give this thing another try?
I booked it before I left.
You booked your comeback.
Yeah.
So now you come back and you sort of know what you're in for.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So let's talk about this. The first night you drink the medicine, this trip, what happens?
The first night was really peaceful and easy. I saw more than I had before, but nothing earth-shattering. Everybody wants God to come down and tell them the master plan, right?
Yeah.
So there's always like, oh, I didn't get that, but it was wonderful and peaceful, and I knew it was going to be a good week. And I think the biggest thing is that I accepted everything. I breathed in deeply when the smoke came, and I embraced all the smells and the crazy music and all of it, and it just felt good and peaceful instead of irritating.
Irritating. Okay, so we do medicine here 4 nights. We do 4 different types of medicine. On Monday night, we do a Brazilian medicine that's super soft. On Tuesday night, we do a medicine that we make here that's deeper. On Wednesday night, we do Peruvian. And on Thursday night, we do Yahe. And they're all forms of ayahuasca, but they're all different. So Tuesday night, on our night called Going Deeper with Brad, what happened to you on this Tuesday night?
My intention was to find out. I'm a bit of a recluse and a hermit, and I asked why I don't feel, what's blocking me from feeling connected. And so all night, I was so irritated at everybody. I couldn't stand it. The hammock was squeaking, somebody was talking, you know, the wind was bothering me, all these things were so irritating. And I just thought I had a bad night until I figured out that's what was blocking me. So, yeah, that's how it works.
So that was Tuesday.
Yep.
And did you get sick yet?
No.
No. So I want to say something. The first time did you get sick?
No.
She went 4 ceremonies without being sick. 6 without being sick. And so now comes Wednesday night, the women's night.
Yes.
Ladies drink free after 5 o'clock,
yes.
ladies' night.
It's amazing.
And so these ladies are amazing. Our shaman are amazing here. And so they serve you the medicine. What happens this night?
That night was so beautiful. I had visions of girlfriends that I have, you know, coming that would so appreciate it. It just is this feeling of inclusion and support and safety, and everything is okay and everything's beautiful, and like it's so stereotypical of someone. It sounds ridiculous to say it, but it's all those things.
I love that. I
Yeah.
think those things are important things.
Yeah.
Did you throw up Wednesday night?
I did.
And tell us
Yes.
about that.
There was a crazy chanting song on, and I remember thinking, something's happening. And then Abby, the shaman, walked through, and as soon as I heard the jingle of her ankles, her boots, that was it. That was like the trigger. And I was up out of bed on my knees throwing up, and it was violent and fast, and then it was over. And it followed a sharp pain in my stomach, like I knew right as I was getting up.
And how did you feel after that?
Amazing.
Amazing,
And
right?
just sort of, yeah.
Free a little bit?
Yes.
And so in this night, so what would you say you pulled out of the Wednesday night? Like what was the big aha, or was there something even on Wednesday night?
I saw a bunch of stuff from my childhood, things that were so familiar. I was like, oh my God, but I have no idea what they were. I can't place them. I still can't place them. But when you say everything that's coming is going, I would have to assume that those were things that I was letting go, maybe. I just felt so light and content walking after the ceremony back to my room. It just felt, I felt included, right? I usually feel outside of things, and I felt like I was part of it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And on Thursday night, we drink something magical called Yahe. And so hey George, so on the Yahe, what happens Thursday night?
What doesn't happen?
Okay, well let me start out by saying this. 76% of the people that come here have something called sacred surgery. And what happens is that you drink the medicine and your mouth starts to get numb, and then beings usually come to you and ask you if you could do, if you would allow them in to help you. So tell me what your story of yours. I love hers.
I was laying there, and a few things had happened, so I knew that she was with me that night. I knew that it was going to be a good night, and I felt really good. And all of a sudden, these almost like fireflies that would ignite and go away, but very small. I couldn't see anything attached to them. I think that they were just beams or little points of light. And then a big dandelion started coming towards me, and I said, okay, and the dandelion came forward and into my mouth, and then the surgery started. It sounds so crazy. Yeah.
And so the dandelion is starting to do surgery to you?
Yes.
And what did they do?
Worked a lot on my teeth. I could feel them specifically in the gums, almost like they were lifting up the gums and getting up in there. And then my ears and my face and a lot around my lips and my throat, and then down to my whole digestive system, and like was hot, and I could feel them in there.
And you felt like they were really doing something, right?
Yes. Yes.
And what did they look like?
I couldn't see. I only saw those points of light in the dandelion. Other than that, I didn't see anything beyond that.
And you felt pressure inside there?
Yeah, a lot of pressure, and it came on during the healing too.
And so what do you feel in hindsight? What do you feel that they were doing? Hey, Steve.
Sorry, say that again. I got distracted.
I love that. Hey, Steve, I need some too. So what did you feel was healed after that was done? What did you feel that the dandelion did?
Well, for one, I get a lot of cold sores, and
Uh-huh.
I feel like I'm not going to get them anymore.
Uh-huh.
I think like all in my sinuses, and I think that from what you were saying with the teeth, I didn't necessarily feel like it was surgery on my teeth for my teeth, but
Uh-huh.
it was healing, and I felt like things going away.
Uh-huh. So what we find out is that almost all the people that have surgery feel great pain in their teeth, and sacred surgery heals what was going on in your life when you were getting those teeth, at the 2 times in your life that you get teeth. And a lot of us have trauma in our house, in our life. And that trauma gets encoded on the bone where the enamel meets the bone. And when they go in to do surgery, there's some pain in your mouth. And that pain is the healing of these things that happened when we were young. And it's just crazy, right?
Yeah, and I can still feel it.
And you can still feel it.
Yeah,
Isn't that amazing?
they're still doing it.
Isn't that crazy, right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of people are talking that people are posting bad things. If somebody posts bad things, just let it go. They need their story to be heard and their pain to be felt, and that's 100% cool with us. There's so many people, thousands that come here and that have this amazing experience. So for everything that happens like that, there will always be people who say something to the otherwise. It's just the way that it is, and we love them too. So don't worry about that. So let me ask you this. So you have all of these things that go on, and you feel this healing, and then on Friday night, after the big Thursday, and are you amazed when you see all these other people that have the same experience?
Yes, you really feel part of this community, and it's one crazy story after another. You think, oh, that was the topper, and then somebody else has a story that's even crazier.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And when you see people that come here and they're so scared and worried, and then you see them at the end of the week and they look like a different person, is that crazy?
Yes.
I'm going to tell you something, you won't believe this. I spend all week with these people, and then like Saturday morning, after breath work, and I'm getting to breath work in a second, I see someone. I said something to a lady today. I see this really attractive lady, and she was sitting alone. I said, "Did you just check in?" She said, "No, I've been here all week." And then I thought about it, and I thought, "Oh my God, she looks so different,"
Yeah, that's true.
So people take on a whole different look because this thing changes, and it changes from your heart out. So can I ask you this? So when you're doing the medicine, and this medicine's this heavy duty event, and then we get done the medicine, we say, okay, now we're going to do some breath work, and you think, oh, fucking breath work, that's going to be a breeze after this, right? And tell me what happens in breath work.
Well, first of all, in the first time I came here, in the first breath work, after all those people had died, at the end of it, it all came out. And Nicole made me stay, and she laid me down on my stomach on the floor. She laid on top of me, was breathing and talking into my ear while I was heaving and sobbing and just completely out of hand. And all the women stood around us in a circle, and I let out, I think, all that grief.
Crying.
Yeah, and that was the first day I
Crying,
got here.
screaming, anything good? Both?
And then when when my soul remerged, that was also during breath work.
Uh-huh.
So breath work is amazing.
Your soul came back to you during breath work,
Yeah,
right?
the last 5 minutes of the last class before I left.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And so breath work is awesome, right? Everybody
Yes.
loves the breath work.
Yes.
I got to show you something. This is the newest addition to my family. Hang on. Wait, where is she? She's awfully dark. That's her. She's a little crazy.
She's amazing.
She's an amazing dog. But so that happened in breath work.
Yes.
And the thing is, a lot of people do the breath work and they think, oh my God, that was more hallucinogenic than the
Yes.
medicine.
Yes.
People are going off on the breath work because the breath work is trying to do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It's trying to show you who you become, merge it back with your soul, and heal your heart.
Yeah.
Did you feel any heart healing when you were here?
Yes.
This time or the first time?
I think a little bit in the first time, but I think I was so overwhelmed. It took a while to process, but I think this time on Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And you felt that really
Yeah.
something comes into your heart. And it's amazing that so much love, and this is what people talk about, that because these changes are permanent, we pull people 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months after being here. And these changes, and about 99% of the people, are permanent. They really change because of this place. And what I attribute to that is that most of us haven't really felt loved. And when that medicine and the breath work starts loving you back, it's a feeling that you just never forget that there's so much love, and that only love is the thing that's out there. There's just love holding it all together. But to see it is one thing. To hear about it in church, or to hear about it in mass, or even to experience it in meditation is amazing. But when you experience it on the medicine, it is so overwhelming. The love is almost debilitating. It's almost debilitating. So like when people talk about it, they talk about this feeling of love and they start crying because it's just that strong. Adam, do you overcome any fear of death or change your perception of death? Ask me that. Ask me that or tell me that.
Which one?
Does it change your perception of death?
Yes, I think all of it does. I think it's, the impermanence, it's the beauty, it's the string that connects all of us, it's that we're all one. It doesn't matter if I'm here or I'm, this all sounds so
No, that's
me.
okay.
But it's just location. It's whether I'm here or whether I'm somewhere else. It's still me and it's still my soul, and everything's good.
So for me, the first time that I went over there and I spoke to people who were dead, that were in my life and they were dead, and they were telling me how cool it was, that everything was okay. And since that time, I haven't been afraid of dying. So for me, it really, really worked. On integration, somebody had a question on integration. So let's see, how do you protect yourself? Yeah, how do you protect yourself once you leave Rythmia? How do you prepare? So the great thing is this, is that the changes that happen here are permanent. So when you go home and you're vibrating different, your circumstances vibrate differently. The things that have been holding you vibrate differently. And in a true change, everything around you has to change. Not that you change it, but by virtue of your vibration changing, the whole thing changes. People treat you differently. You're calmer. And when you have that vibe, you just stay in it. You stay in that vibe. And it's amazing. What I find so interesting is that the people that are here, when they get here, they're like, oh my God, these people are weird. What are these people doing? Oh, I would never be one of those people. And by the time they leave, they're different humans. And we have so many people that just cry when they're leaving. And I tell them that on Monday when I do my thing. I said, about 85% of you are going to cry when you leave. And they're like, nah. And they all cry. They all cry. So there's really something big here. And the thing is that the people who are called here, and not everybody is, are called here because they're light workers or light warriors. And that's the truth. And they're here to participate in this thing called the shift. And this thing is really happening. People all around are waking up. I'm waking up. You're waking up. People are waking up and they want to get that clean slate. So they come here to get their slate cleaned so that they can go and they can participate in this thing called the shift. And it's really happening, and it's really activated, and it's really right here. And it happens every single week. I want to tell you two more things. That if you have any questions during this thing, call this number, 866-936-9446. We have operators that are there that can answer all your questions and book you in. There's a little phenomenon that's happening here. And when I started this thing, my first month was 2016 of January of 2016, and we had about 16 people for the month. And right now we're having 82 a week, and we're at capacity. So please, whatever you do, call in, book ahead. You want to come here. This place will change your life, and I'm not kidding you. It will really change your life. And we're not doing it for money. We're not doing it for fame. You couldn't possibly get famous doing this, but we're not doing it for money like this. When I started this thing, it cost me a tick over $10 million to get involved in this business. And I was a guy who used to make money. And it'll be years and years and years before I make that money back. This wasn't done for a business thing. This was really done because the medicine told me to open this place and to do it. And I know that it sounds crazy, but it's the truth. And anybody who, if I did this to make money, I ought to be put in an insane asylum because it's the last thing in the world. But anyway, but it's more fun than a barrel of monkeys. I'm having the time of my life doing this thing. Linda is going to be here next Sunday. I will see you next Sunday, and I'm excited you're coming. If you have any questions, please put them on the screen, and I'll answer them. I'd love to hear them. Yeah, has anybody ever come here and not experienced healing? Yes, there are. It's about 3 out of 100. That 3.5 out of 100 that come here and don't get their miracle. But here's what's interesting with those three. Those three generally come right back, and they keep going until they get it. But it's very, very slight percentage. You're talking 950 some out of 1,000 get it, and some people get it after they get home and they didn't even know that they had it. So let's talk about the people who don't get their miracle. If you already know everything spiritually, it's going to be real hard because the medicine wants to break you down and rebuild you. That's what the medicine's trying to do. Breath work wants to break you down to your core and rebuild you. That's the whole idea. So if you come here, come as a child. And I don't mean, like crazy. I mean come without opinions and come with an open heart. And if your heart's open, that's all you need. Melanie, yes, our shaman are here to help you. Not only are our shaman, we have about 120 employees, and they run around this place, and they're constantly available for you. And in the ceremonies, there's probably 8 or 10 people from the team in the ceremony, all working to get this thing done for you. All working to get this thing done for you. So we're all here for you, and we want you to come. And I listen, the thing is with money, commit to coming and the money shows up. It's a crazy, crazy thing. We hear this story all the time. But absolutely come here. Come here. It's going to change your life. We're changing so many lives. It's, hey, I've heard there's a crazy dance class with Meg. Yeah, I haven't been in it. Have you been in it?
No,
She's crazy that our cook, our chef, and she's not even actually cooking. The person that runs our restaurant called Roots is a crazy Canadian, and she has a dance class on Friday, and so many people show up for it just to shake loose. It's really good. I'm so happy that you came here, and you're such a great soul, and you're such a great person, and we're all different, right? So we get people that, and this is what's crazy. Who comes here? I want to tell you. Let's talk about who comes here. From 18 years old, right? We have 2 guys here this week who are 70. Usually we have some older people, like 80, 85. It's the gamut. Anybody, a lot of bankers, a lot of mortgage people, professional people, a lot of spiritual seekers. Very few work at Costco. We got some Costco people. So it's the whole gamut. Like there is no one type of person that comes. And here's something else. People come here, and when they come here, they think they're coming here because they want insight as to the next phase of their life, or they're having trouble with their husband, or they are having trouble with drinking, or they're having trouble with something, and they think that's why they came here, but it's not. Your soul is the one that's dying for you to come here. It's the one that's pushing because it wants back in the game. Your soul wants to be reconnected with you, and it's dying to do it. So give your soul a chance and come to Rythmia and come visit us. It's going to change your life. It really changes lives. So I want to thank you so much for coming. Anybody who had questions or has more questions, ask the questions and we'll answer them for you. Most people come for a week. Some people come for 2. Yeah, can it help PTSD, ADHD, and OCD? Absolutely. It can help that. What's interesting is when the medicine happens, it comes in and it fixes everything once you merge back. And it happens. We see OCD go away. We see bipolar. We see borderline. We see narcissistic personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder, things that are supposed to be access to in cluster B and uncurable that get cured here. It's crazy, and it happens quick. Yeah, you have to bring your inner child. Can it help for tinnitus? Now, the thing is this. That's an interesting question. We have a guy here that has tinnitus, and it helped him greatly. Did it make it all go away? No, but it's about 10% of what it was. So it really, really, really does happen. Gemma Chadwick, she's done 7 journeys at Rythmia and still haven't merged with her soul. Do I know why? I really don't know why. And the thing is, sometimes there are things that are standing between us and it. And I'm glad that you talked about this because with so many stories that are so over the top positive, I like to hear a negative story, and I like to try to get to the bottom of it. I'd really like to talk to you and find out what happened and why it didn't happen for you. And I'd like to invite you back and get you here and work with you personally because it's so important to us. Every single soul is important to us. So I don't really know why, but I'd love to find out. Couples can have as good, if not better, of an experience. What we do with them, though, is we separate them while they're here. You can stay in the same room and all that, but during ceremony, we put you at different ends of the ceremonial space. And the greatest healings, like couples come here and get remarried here all the time. We watched one Thursday morning, right? It just happens. People fall in love again, and it's amazing. So I thank you guys for coming.
Can I say one thing
Absolutely.
about that? So the people that were here, I never had a spiritual practice. I don't have any history of this. I thought, it's going to be all these people and they're all connected and they're all light workers. I don't even know what that means, but I know I don't think I'm one. And maybe I don't fit in and it's going to be weird. And it's just not that. It's every different kind of person and they have different backgrounds. They're from different countries and there's no set type, so you don't have to worry ever about not fitting in.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah. Thank you. And thank you for being here, Stace.
Thank you.
And I hope you come back and send us all of Costco. Okay. We'd love to get everybody at Costco here.
I'm sure the bosses will love that.
I'm sure they're going to love this. This is great. Okay, so if you guys have any other things, please write us and contact us. My partner and I consciously separated because of our experience. And how did that, Shauna, did that happen here with us? And you decided to separate? I have to find out about that. Thanks for that, guys. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Suzette. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you all soon. Please come here. Please share this thing. Oh, yeah, that did happen to you here. And how has it worked out since then, Shauna? I want to see what she says. You're probably typing. That might be a long one. Huh. Carla, you got your miracle, and it's staying strong. I'm glad about that. And Shauna, please answer us because I want to see what you say. We'll be friends forever. Then that's the best thing. Did you have a great experience here, Shauna? I want to see what you say. Hi, Carla. My dog's snoring. She likes you.
I like her.
She's the greatest new addition to my life here, this dog. Life-changing, yes. Thank you, Shauna. Please, you guys, Ann Carey got her miracle too. Thank you. We love Rythmia. We love Rythmia too. We love you. Las Vegas Jack says, only way for me is to see Gerry. I love it, Jack. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Come, guys. Please. We'll see you soon. We'd love to see you here.
They want to see your dog again.
What's the dog's name? The dog's name is Galaxy. And she's a little baby. And she's a stray. And she found us. She found us. I didn't find her. I was lonely. I missed my wife. And I was like, oh my God, you got to send me something. And 2 days later, the dog showed up and she liked me. So I kept her. Can't wait to see you guys. Can't wait to see you soon. God bless you. Have a great week and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.